Hello, hello. How are you today? My name is Tracy Allen and I'm coming to you live today to show you our Blossoms in Bloom bundle. This is brand new in our brand new catalog. Super excited to share that with you today. All right. So if you are just joining us for the first time, please comment, say hi, say hello. That gets you entered into our monthly drawings, which is super fun because I always give away lots and lots of great stuff. So you won't want to miss that. Awesome. I see a couple people with us today. All right. Isn't this card so pretty? I am loving this new set. It is really beautiful. There we go. Turn that volume down. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you some really pretty cards. We're going to use a lot of purple today. I was in a purple mood, I think. Sometimes you're just in a mood. Today was purple. Purple mood. So we're going to play with our new Blossoms in Bloom bundle. So this is a bundle you can get. You can either purchase the stamps and the dies separate, or you can purchase the bundle all together. And I highly recommend the bundle because of these amazing dies. So let me show you the dies that come with this set. You don't get just one, you get two. Yes, they're gorgeous. And when you run them through, I've played with them a couple times now, just got them, so they're pretty new. I noticed when I ran it through, they cut beautifully. Not all of my intricate dies cut that beautifully. Sometimes I have to roll them through 2 times just to make sure, especially on these really thin, fine dies. But this one cut wonderfully. So I will say my machine is definitely old, and I am looking forward to Stampin' Up's new machine. If you've seen the new catalog, you know that we have a brand new die cut machine, a Stampin' cut and emboss machine that's going to be coming out here shortly. So that's going to be awesome. But you can see these are layering dies. So each die, this one will cut out the outline, and then these little guys will cut the outline of the flowers. So I've got a couple of those here. You can see they're very delicate, very intricate. And then this will actually cut out the inside, but it's not going to cut out the full inside. It's going to leave kind of a pattern on the inside, which I think is great because then when you're layering them, you can kind of have a triple effect. So for instance, let me see if I can find my little guy that layers. So when you layer that on top, might have that turned the wrong way. There we go. You're going to see the outline, but you're going to see the intricate detail on the inside too. I've got mine laid the wrong way. Maybe I grabbed the wrong one. Very possibly. Oh yeah. Gotta grab the one that matches. There we go. So you can see that if you layer it on another color of paper, so if I layered it on some white, now that really stands out, and the white on the inside stands out. Or the nice thing about the stamps is you can actually stamp a separate color on the inside, and then you're going to have all 3 of those colors kind of show through. So the bottom for the stamps is kind of the center of the layer. So you can see it. It almost looks like watercolor paint. I think it's such a pretty stamp set. And you've got the large blossoms that nest beautifully within the die cut. Right, so they're going to nest right inside that. Or you've got the little flowers here as well. So we've got the 2 flowers that I was just showing you. Or And then you can add your leaves to it as well. So you can add in some of these beautiful greens. If you were to die cut the larger, thicker one in white and then stamp on top of it, you could stamp the green leaves in so that it had a different color palette to it. So lots of ways to play with this. We're actually going to stamp with this today and just stamp. And I'll show you some cards we're going to do with just stamping, and then we're going to do one card with the layering. And then I love it because you got sentiments too, right? It's always a bonus when you get a stamp set you love, dies you love, and then sentiments that come with it, because I always feel like you have to have those too. Sometimes you just get these beautiful flowers, and then you have to pull another set for sentiments. But this one has some great ones. So very all occasion. You've got happy birthday, thinking of you, hello, sure do miss you, thank you, I like you a lot, and get well soon. So pretty much if you had just this die set and stamps, you would be set to make a ton of different cards, right? Because you've got such great sentiments here. So let's get started with one of these layering, one of the layering dies cards. And to do that, I told you I was kind of in a purple mood. I just grabbed a bunch of purples and I found my favorite purple ribbon that we have, and I just started. So we're definitely going to be using this ribbon today. So this is the tricolor ribbon, and it's Purple Posy, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape. And what's lovely is they put them all together, and so we're actually going to use those three colors today to make our card. Set these all aside. We're going to start with a basic gray base. So I didn't want to start with black or white. I thought something a little different. I think grays and purples go really good together. So this is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and we're just going to fold that in half. I'm going to use our bone folder to score it. And then we're going to take, and I have pre-die cut these. Now I will say the one thing when you are die cutting, I'll just be honest with you, especially with these intricate die cuts, you've got a lot of little things to take out of the middle. So we do have a tool for that. We have our picket tool, and you can see on one end is this nice pointy side, and that's the end you're going to want to use to kind of poke the little pieces out. That's going to be really helpful to get all the teeny tiny, whoops, see, there's one right there, all the teeny tiny little pieces off of your die once you've cut it. Okay. It also has a brush. So there is a brush that you can get that attaches to the end as well. And when you use that brush on one of our foam pads, you just kind of brush over the top. It'll get most of the little intricate pieces out for you. So a really, really good tool to have. I use this a lot for my embellishments, but it's great for your die cuts too. Okay, so we're gonna take, and I wanna use all 3 colors of purple today. So I'm going to start with our Gorgeous Grape. And like I said, I was inspired by the ribbon, so that's where we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to take our die piece. This is in Highland Heather, and so I've cut the larger piece out, and we're going to layer that right on top. And when we do that, we're just going to, it's going to hang off a little, and that's okay, because there's a little bit of room on that gray piece. And in order to get this to lay down, I'm going to use glue. So I definitely recommend having a liquid glue. A liquid glue is going to go a whole lot better, especially for your intricate dies. So there's a couple ways you could do this. For me, I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper here, and because I get a little messy with glue. I don't know about you. I'm just going to take, we have our multi-purpose liquid glue, and what's nice is it has a fine tip edge. And so for me, on this piece, I can just quickly pick some of the larger areas. And you definitely want to make sure you're getting around the outside as well. So I'm going to pick some of the larger areas to put a little bit of glue on. Don't go crazy. You don't need to. And this really will stick just fine with just a little bit of glue on the outsides. So make sure you get those outsides, and then I get some of the bigger pieces on the inside. gonna flip that over and lay that down. And like I said, if you get a little glue on you, that's okay. That's what we do. And we're gonna glue that right to the card front here. The nice thing about glue too is it's pretty forgiving, so you've got a few seconds to play with it to make sure it's laying the way you want it to once you put that down. Okay. You can see I've got a little hangover there, and that's okay. Alright, so the next piece that's going to go on is our white layering piece. And you can tell right away that that white layering piece is going to be a little more difficult to get to stick on because it's very thin. And so in order to get that to stick on, one of the tricks I use is I'm going to take my scratch paper again, and I'm going to take one of my little daubers. And this is, you can buy these from us, and they're great for paint. I'm going to use a little bit of glue on the end. And you can even water it down just a little bit, that helps too. And I'm just going to gently dab the edges with glue. Just gently. Because there is honestly no way I am getting glue all over this. It's just not going to happen. You could, if you have a very, very fine tip, we have some other fine tip glue that's kind of a clear glue. That will work as well. But it can be tricky to get glue on all the edges. And honestly, if I don't, I can go back later and get a little more glue on there if I need to. So I'm going to take what I've done. I'm going to glue that on. Got it upside down here. I'm going to do my best to just move it around so that it's right on the edges. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So pretty. So all I've done is just, so far we haven't even stamped a thing. All we have done is taken layers from our die cut and stuck those on our paper here. So again, I use the darker purple for the middle, and you can see how it looks like the flower is actually fading. It has kind of an ombre effect with the 3 different color purples. So super, super pretty. Love that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and use our ribbon now. And we're just gonna wrap that around the bottom. And what's nice, I guess you can figure out which side you think is the bottom. I think with that flower up there, I'll use this as the bottom. And I'm going to get enough ribbon out that I can make a nice little bow down here on the corner. Just cut some of that. Now, if you're one of those people who thinks you have too many flower stamps, we do have a lot of beautiful flower stamps. I will say this is different. Right? And I think the thing that makes it different is really the dies. And the fact that it is the entire page. I love that too. So I'm not going to be stamping a ton. I'm not going to be making little flowers here and little flowers here. This takes up your whole card front. And it just gives you such a beautiful effect on your card front. Even if you only bought the dies, I think it would be totally worth it. You would use them a lot, but the stamps are amazing too, especially with all those awesome sentiments that come in it. How's everybody this Friday? What are you guys up to this weekend? Anything fun? The kids and I went to the park today. We haven't been to the park in 3 months, as I'm sure many of you are. And it was, it's 110 outside too, to be fair. So it's kind of hot, but it was completely empty. My kids had the run of the entire park by themselves. And here in Arizona, all our parks are back open again. So it's not as if it was closed. It was just hot, and I think people were staying in today. and a Friday, you know, but it was a lot of fun. They got to play for a little while and get some energy out, which we definitely needed. Right, just gonna go ahead and clip the ends on here. I am not the best bow maker, but I will play with that a little more. All right, so I am gonna get a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm gonna use my little mini trimmer here today. Mini trimmer. This was a specialty item for Demonstrator, so if you signed up as a new Demonstrator in January, February, or March of this year, you also have one of these awesome mini trimmers. We tend to give away a lot of really fun stuff for anyone who signs up as a Demonstrator. And when I say sign up as a Demonstrator, what I mean is you join Stampin' Up! And become a VIP customer. So you don't even have to do what I do. You definitely don't have to sell anything. That is not, most people who sign up and join don't sell Stampin' Up! At all. They just use the discount. They become VIPs. And essentially, when you're VIP, you get a discount on your product. You get 20% off anything you purchase here forward, which is great. Can't beat that. Plus, when you join, we always have really fun joining specials. So our joining special for June is $20, or excuse me, not $20. That's our host special. For June, it's $99 plus tax, free shipping. So it's just $99 plus tax, so it's about $107. And you get a $125 in product that you choose from the catalog. You get to pick whatever you want, $125 worth for 99 bucks. So right there, you're getting a good deal. Plus, you get to pick a free bundle. Now, this bundle in particular is one of our more expensive bundles because of the double sets of dies, right? Dies tend to be fairly expensive. And so you could get this bundle, stamps and dies, for free when you sign up in June. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. Shoot me a message. PM me. I would love to tell you about it because it is a steal. Like, you just can't beat it. Our joining specials are always awesome. So I'm going to cut this down. I'm just going to do a little thank you, and then I'm going to slide it over on the side here underneath. So I'm going to stamp it toward the top, but I want to shorten it up a bit. I think 2 inches is probably plenty. So I'm going to use my little machine here. So stinking cute. Alright, 2 inches. Should be enough. And we'll go ahead and stamp it in, I think I'm going to stamp it in my darker purple here. So this is Gorgeous Grape. And we're going to stamp the little thank you sentiment. I've been making a lot of thank you cards lately because I need them. Giving a lot of away, which is good. It's always nice. People love to hear thank you, right? They love to feel appreciated. And so we're going to stamp that right toward the top. These are polymer stamps, so they are clear, which is awesome because then you can see everything you're stamping. So you know exactly where it's getting stamped. No questions about it. Once I do that, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and I'm going to slide it right under our ribbon. You know what, before I do that, let's put it on the card front so I don't forget. So we've got that basic gray. We're going to take our beautiful card we just made here. We're going to put a lot of adhesive on the back. I like to put some on the ribbon too, just so it stays in place. And then we're just going to place that right down in the center of our card front. So pretty. What do you think about the purples? I feel like I could do this with so many of our colors. I want to do this with blues. I want to do this with pinks, with our greens. The nice thing about Stampin' Up! Is all of our colors coordinate, right? So you can find colors that'll layer together really beautifully like this. Okay, don't lose your little thank you here. Just put some adhesive on the back of our thank you. And I'm going to stick that right on. This one I'm actually going to tuck kind of under the ribbon. So he stands out here and you just see a little bit of him. Thank you. All right, that is it. That is our first card. Super cute. I love these colors. I love the gray with it too. I think that makes it stand out. White would be good too. I mean, I'm using the white here, so that would have looked nice. But definitely those purples are so beautiful. So that's it. That's the die set. That's our Blossoms in Bloom dies. So definitely check those out. Now we're going to go ahead and put the dies away, and we're going to use just the stamps. So again, I'm using purples. I was in a purple mood. Sometimes I'm just in a mood. Today was purple. So we are going to use these gorgeous stamps. Now, I will warn you, because this is such a large stamp, you are going to need a really large block for your stamps. So I was looking at my blocks, and I have the two larger blocks here. I just don't think, yeah, it's not going to quite fit on my, maybe if I tilt it. Nope. No, it's just not going to quite fit on this block. So you are going to want our largest rectangular Stampin' block. These blocks are awesome because they're weighted. Like if you're feeling our blocks are, they have some substance to them, right? And they all are lettered, so you can see which letter corresponds. And in our catalog, it'll actually tell you which letter block goes with the stamp set. So that way you have an idea of what a good size is. Now, me, if I was buying blocks, I'd buy a C and an H. Those are pretty much our standard size blocks. That's the larger rectangle and our square block. And they pretty much fit most of our stamps. So, but when you get into these larger stamps, that's when you definitely need a larger block. Okay, I'm just going to carefully peel that off here. And you're going to stick this here to our block. Right. And then remember, we've got all these other ones to accent it. So we're going to use our center here for our flowers. We're going to use those little dots. And we're going to use our leaves as well. So that'll make it look really pretty. So I started by cutting a piece of our grape, and I cut our grape down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to use a card base of that basic gray again. So this time I cut it 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. So it's going to have a side fold here instead of a top fold. And we're just going to take our bone folder, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set these aside for right now. That way we know where our pieces are. Then we're going to go ahead and cut a piece of Whisper White, and I cut this down by 8ths. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that way when I layer them on top, you'll notice that there's just a little bit of the purple that hangs out. So I really wanted the star of the show not to be the paper today, but to actually be the stamps. So you'll see that's kind of why I did that one there. All right, now I just gotta decide how I'm gonna orient this. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna take our stamp colors, and we're gonna use Highland Heather, which is the lighter of the two darker purples that we have. Purple Posy does not have a ink pad to go with it. And so it does have markers though, so you could use those. Because it's such a large stamp, I'm actually taking the ink to the stamp, because this is a huge stamp. And so that just helps me see. This is also one of the distinctive stamps, so you're gonna notice there's little tiny, if you look, I don't even know if you can see that here. If you look really closely, there are little tiny dots all over. And what those little tiny dots do is they give it texture when you're stamping with it, which is really cool. So it's going to have dimension, which I love. Okay, and you can even see it when I'm stamping. You can see the darker spots and the lighter spots. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that down. It is polymer stamp, so you're going to want a surface that has a little bit of give to it. My table has a little bit of give to it, but you can also put a piece of foam underneath. So we have our stamp foam pad here, and that's just going to give it a little more cushion, so all those teeny tiny intricate pieces go down. Look at that. So pretty. All right, and now we just get to decorate it up. So we're going to take the rest of our stamps here and finish it off with some leaves, and then we'll finish the inside with some darker spots. All right, friends, let's see. Love these leaves on this one too. I'm actually going to put the pad back underneath, just again, because it's a distinctive stamp. I really want every single little etching on my stamp to show. I'm using Granny Apple Green because it's such a bright, fun green. I just think it goes really well with this particular stamp set. So I'm going to do 2 of the bigger leaves. Got some paper to put under there. Hangs over the edge, that's okay. You can see what a nice bright green that is. I'm going to use the smaller leaf now. And I'm going to go into the sides over here. Yay, so pretty. And remember, we're looking for that watercolor effect. It's not going to be it's not going to stand out and be bright or anything like that. We're looking for more of that watercolor look, which is exactly what we're getting here, which I just love. All right, I'm going to put this green away. I'm going to pull out the dark, gorgeous grape. And I'm going to take these little tiny dots, and we're actually going to put these little tiny dots in the center of our flower in that gorgeous grape color. So that nice dark purple. And that's just going to make them stand out there, right? Ah, so pretty. And there's no right or wrong with this one. There's no right or wrong with stamping, really. You just get in there and do it. All right, so I'm going to leave this as my front. It's simple. It's that beautiful watercolor look. And I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my my gorgeous grape. And you can use our seal adhesive for that, or you can use glue, whichever you prefer. I have some of our previous snail adhesive. So I'm just going to use that while I've got it out. And remember, it should just barely show when you put this down. It's only 1/8 of an inch. Right, so. Then I've got our sentiments. So I cut a piece of our gorgeous grape again, and I believe that's 1 1/4 by 2. So 1 1/4 by 2, and then I cut it down by half. So 1 by 2, 1 by 1, 1 3/4. And then we're just going to stamp our sentiment. And remember, you've got all these awesome sentiments inside your stamp set. So we're going to use, I think for this one we'll use Thinking of You. That's a pretty popular universal sentiment that we can use here. I kind of like to line my polymer stamps up with the lines here, and then I can get it kind of more square. I'm going to use that gorgeous grape again. Have that color really stand out. And we're just going to stamp it right in the middle. Another thing I thought about as I was making this is you could take some of the smaller stamps too and stamp kind of a flower image on the side and then put this in, which I think would be really pretty too. So just gives it a little more something. We're going to adhere this to the back. And that's going to help that grape stand out. Make that sentiment pop. And then I'm going to layer everything on top of the card. So, oops, yeah, I knew I was going to stick my finger in there. So we're going to start by building our card up. I got to decide how I want my card. I think I want it like that. Let's see. Yeah, I want it like that. Okay, you play with it. Decide how you want it. So I'm going to flip that up. If you are watching the live, please comment, say hello, say hi. Let me know you're there. That gets you entered into our monthly drawings, which is awesome. You get some free Stampin' Up stuff. I love to give away free stuff. And if you haven't already, we are having an open house on June 13th. That is our brand new catalog showcase. So you'll get a chance to actually get your hands on this brand new catalog. You get to play with it a little bit, which is a lot of fun. And we're going to have free make and takes, all kinds of stuff. Totally free event, but you do have to sign up because we are going to practice some social distancing and be really careful. So if you do, you're going to go to the sign up link. So you'll head on over to the business page, TK Crafts, and then you're going to click on events. Once you click on events, you'll see our open house listed there. And from our open house page, you'll go ahead and click on the Sign Up Genius. And you'll pick a time. We're going to limit it to just a few people at a time in the house, so 45-minute sessions. And then the other great thing is if you're here, you get to shop with us too. And shopping with us, we're going to have our buy one, get one sale. So all of my retired products are going to be on sale. And you'll be able to shop the sale, which is great. So much fun to shop the sale. Once you shop the sale though, you can, it'll be buy one, get one. So everything you purchase, you will get that much in credit to spend in the new catalog. So purchase $50 worth of retired product and you get $50 to spend in the new catalog, which is awesome. I only do it once a year. So you definitely want to sign up for that if you're interested. All right. This was our purple today. Again, I was just in a purple mood. So, super simple, especially with the stamping. I feel like if you just had the stamp set, you can make some really beautiful, like I said, that almost look like watercolor. These beautiful flowers on your images. And then we did the exact opposite. We played with the dies over here. So one of the neat things though is you can stack them, and so I was talking about how you can actually create a third color inside and get this beautiful, beautiful look. So these are our cards today. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate all of you so very much, and I hope you're going to have an amazing weekend. If you need anything or if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. On top of this live, I'm going to go ahead and post the link for shopping. I'll also post the link for, so you can get to our current events and shop the new catalogs. So if you're looking especially for this awesome die set, this is a great one to have. You can get a lot of mileage out of it with all of the sentiments in it. All right, well, thank you all for joining me today. I so appreciate you. Have an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.